In a city obsessed with wealth, one woman proved you don't need millions to live like a queen.
A young woman steps out of a black SUV onto the cobblestone streets of Soho. She's draped in head-to-toe Valentino, her eyes shielded by oversized Celine sunglasses. The doorman at 11 Howard Hotel greets her with a smile, not because he knows her, but because she looks like someone he should know.
Her name? Anna Delvey, at least that's what she said. She was charming. She was generous. She was mysterious.
And she had everyone in New York's elite eating out of the palm of her hand. Hoteliers bent over backward for her. Friends covered her bills without hesitation. Even banks entertained her dreams of securing multi-million-dollar loans. But here's the thing, Anna Delvey wasn't real. Her real name was Anna Sorokin, and she wasn't an heiress. She was a con artist. And in just a few years she left behind a trail of unpaid bills, broken friendships, and a scandal so wild it forced America to question how easily we worship wealth and appearances. But let's be honest, Anna didn't just scam people. She exposed a system built on greed and image. She made a mockery of high society, and somehow people are still debating, was she a crook or a genius? Let's unpack how Anna Sorokin pulled off one of the most glamorous scams of our time, and why her story still matters today.
To understand how Anna fooled New York, you first have to understand how she fooled herself.
Anna Sorokin didn't grow up in mansions or penthouses. She wasn't sipping champagne on yachts or shopping in Paris boutiques. She was born in Domodedovo, a working-class town outside Moscow, to parents who lived modestly and worked hard. But even as a teenager, Anna craved something more. She wanted to reinvent herself, to escape her ordinary life. So, when her family moved to Germany, she found her first window into a world she felt she deserved. It started small, with fashion magazines, luxury blogs, Instagram accounts dripping with curated perfection. Anna watched, studied, and learned a hard truth. In a world obsessed with wealth, confidence is currency. If you look the part, people will open doors for you. If you speak the part, they'll give you the keys. By her early 20s, Anna was in Paris interning at Purple magazine, mingling with creatives and influencers. She swapped her Russian accent for a vaguely European one and began calling herself Anna Delvey. Why the name change? Because Delvey sounded expensive, rare, like something you couldn't Google. But Paris wasn't enough. Anna's ambitions were bigger than Fashion Week and Instagram likes. She wanted New York City, the ultimate playground for the rich and powerful.
When Anna arrived in New York, she didn't come with money. She came with an idea. Fake it till you make it. And she played the part flawlessly.
She checked into luxury hotels like 11 Howard and the Mercer, tipping staff with $100 bills. She dined at restaurants where the bill could cover someone's rent, and always offered to pay, even when her cards declined. And when they did, she'd smile and say, "It must be an issue with my trust fund. My father's people will handle it." At first, no one doubted her. Why would they? She dressed in designer clothes, dropped names of celebrities, and floated plans for an exclusive arts foundation called the ADF, Anna Delvey Foundation, that she said would rival Soho House. But behind the glamour there were signs of trouble. Hotels noticed wire transfers never arrived. Friends whispered about unpaid bills. And yet, Anna's charm kept everyone in check. But charm can only take you so far. To launch her arts foundation, Anna needed a $22 million loan. And this time she wasn't dealing with starstruck concierges or gullible socialites. She was dealing with banks and lawyers, the kind of people trained to spot lies. This is where Anna's house of cards began to wobble. But here's what's truly alarming. Anna wasn't some criminal genius hacking the system. She didn't use weapons or sophisticated tech. All she did was talk, dress, and act like she belonged.
Think about that for a second. If looking wealthy is enough to bypass safeguards in some of the world's most exclusive spaces, how safe is the rest of us?
How often do we let appearances blind us to the truth? Anna didn't just expose people, she exposed the cracks in an entire culture obsessed with status. By 2016, Anna Delvey was everywhere in Manhattan's social scene. She was on first-name terms with gallery owners, fashion designers, and financiers. She hosted lavish dinners where she picked up $30,000 tabs without blinking. And she made people feel special, like being her friend meant you were part of an exclusive club. But behind the champagne toasts and private jets, Anna's empire was crumbling. She wasn't spending her trust fund, she was spending other people's money.
Let's take a close look at some of her notable victims. One of which is Rachel DeLoach Williams.
Rachel thought Anna was her glamorous best friend. So when Anna invited her on an all-expenses-paid trip to Morocco, Rachel said yes. They stayed in a $7,000 a night riad, sipped cocktails by the pool, and posted photos that screamed luxury. But then, Anna's credit card stopped working. Rachel, panicked in a foreign country, reluctantly put the $62,000 bill on her corporate American Express card after Anna promised to pay her back. She never did. The debt nearly destroyed Rachel's credit score and left her drowning in anxiety. Rachel wasn't alone. Hotels like 11 Howard and Beekman filed lawsuits over unpaid bills. A private jet company sued Anna for flying to Omaha and back on false promises of payment. Even high-end restaurants were left chasing checks.
But here's the real scandal. It wasn't just Anna. It was the system that enabled her.
The hotels gave her VIP treatment because of how she dressed and tipped. Banks considered her multi-million-dollar loan application because she talked with confidence and sent fake documents. Even her victims ignored red flags because Anna made them feel like insiders in her glamorous world. In a city obsessed with money and status, nobody wanted to be the first to say, "Wait, who is Anna Delvey really?" But the truth always comes due. And when Anna tried to secure that $22 million loan for her arts foundation, her lies finally caught up to her. Banks began to ask questions. Wire transfers failed to appear. Lawyers noticed inconsistencies. And one by one, her carefully crafted relationships began to crumble.
The Heiress Act was over, and soon, Anna wouldn't be dining at Cipriani or Le Cuckoo. She'd be eating in a Rikers Island cell.
In 2017, the fake heiress finally lost her crown. Anna Sorokin was arrested outside a luxury rehab facility in Los Angeles, where she'd been hiding out after skipping hotel bills and defrauding some of her closest friends. She wasn't in Valentino anymore. No private jets, no VIP tables, no doting staff calling her Miss Delvey. Just handcuffs and a police escort. The charges? Grand larceny, theft of services, multiple counts of fraud. The prosecutors painted her as a master manipulator, a woman who scammed over $275,000 by weaponizing charm and privilege. But let's not forget the double standard. If Anna Sorokin had been poor, if she didn't have European features or designer clothes, would luxury hotels have let her walk in and out without paying? Would banks have entertained her fake documents? Would socialites have rushed to cover her bills, hoping for future favors? Or would she have been thrown out, arrested on the spot, and labeled a trespasser? This speaks a lot as to how our society prioritizes wealth and favors over due process.
This wasn't just a scam. It was a mirror showing how wealth, or the illusion of it, protects people in ways the rest of us can't imagine.
But here's where the story takes a darker turn. Even as her victims tried to rebuild their lives, Anna became famous. Magazines gushed over her courtroom fashion choices. Netflix signed a six-figure deal for her story, while Rachel Williams struggled to pay off her Amex debt. Social media crowned Anna a girl boss and a feminist icon, praising her hustle in a world that worships wealth. Do you see the hypocrisy here? A young, attractive woman with designer bags and European poise is celebrated for scamming the rich. But if she had been poor, if she had been a woman of color, would the world still be applauding? This wasn't just about Anna. This was about the system that let her thrive. The banks, hotels, jet companies, and her so-called elite friends. Anna didn't just exploit people, she exploited a culture obsessed with image over substance. And in doing so, she exposed how fragile our safeguards really are. In 2019, Anna Sorokin was convicted and sentenced to 4 to 12 years in prison. But even behind bars, she remained a media darling. To some, she was a villain. To others, a hero who gamed a rigged system. And Anna? She seemed proud of it all. She once said, "The difference between me and everyone else is, I didn't just dream about it, I did it."
So here's the question. Was she a criminal mastermind, or just the mirror reflecting back society's obsession with wealth and power?
If she fooled the system so easily, what does that say about the system itself? And here's the lesson nobody wants to hear. Scams like this don't work unless we let them. It wasn't just Anna's lies, it was the system's eagerness to believe them. A culture where we value Instagram over integrity. Where we assume wealth equals trustworthiness. Where asking hard questions feels rude. Maybe Anna wasn't inventing herself at all. Maybe she was inventing us. The version of us that's too blinded by luxury to see the con. So ask yourself, could you spot the next Anna Delvey? Or would you be too busy scrolling her feed and hoping for an invitation? And if it happened to New York's richest, could it happen to you?
What do you think? Was Anna a villain, or did she simply play the game better than everyone else?
Drop your thoughts in the comments, we're listening. And if you never want to be the next victim of a scam like this, hit subscribe now. Because the story I'm telling next will leave you questioning everyone around you. Before you go, don't forget to like this video and share it with someone you care about. These aren't just stories, they're warnings. The next victim could be scrolling their feed right now, unaware. Your share might be the wake-up call they need to see the red flags before it's too late.